everybody, happy Sunday. I hope that wherever you are and whatever you are doing, you are with people that you love and you feel safe with. It has been quite the week. I don't know about you. First week of March, it has been very busy. There's been lots going on here. Definitely the US is feeling like we are stuck in a blender on full with no way of getting out, even though if we were really small and stuck inside a blender, we could probably just jump out because physics. But anyway, that is not what I want to talk to you about today. I want to talk to you, yes, I want to talk to you more about policy, but don't worry, it's not Donald Trump policy. It's a theoretical policy that in some parts of the world might actually become a reality, and it relates to electric vehicles and road taxation and use taxation. And the notion that heavier vehicles should pay more to use our roads. I live in a country where bigger is perceived as being better. Isn't the case. I emphatically believe that's not the case. And many people have massive oversized vehicles. I personally own a Ford F-150 Lightning. The camera is actually balanced on top of that right now. And while I do use it for truck things, we haul a lot of stuff in it, we take it places, we do lots of truck related stuff. There are lots of people out there who own a vehicle that size just because they want to feel safe, because it's a big thing. And there's this whole kind of confused messaging in the US about it is my right as a consumer to have whatever the insert expletive here vehicle is that I have, and it's my God-given right or deity-given right to own this vehicle and to use it and screw everybody else. And it's one of the issues I have with America right now, is that empathy seems to be something that has vanished. And obviously that is something when we use a big vehicle when we use a big vehicle and we don't need to, that kind of feeds into that. It's because I want to feel any of these other things. That's not to say those feelings aren't valid, but it means that very often you're steamrolling other people's needs out of the equation. It's one of the reasons why I picked up the Vectrex VX1, is because I wanted a vehicle that wasn't the pickup truck to be able to run errands locally and do things when our Chevrolet Bolt wasn't around. My Chevrolet Bolt isn't here today. My wife is on a work trip. She took the Bolt this time. Last time she took the truck. And so it would be the scooter or the truck. And in an ideal world, I'd take the scooter every time, or I'd walk, or I'd take public transit. Obviously, I live somewhere where there isn't a lot of public transit, which brings me back to the heavier vehicles paying more for road upkeep, more road usage tax. Now, in the US, how we pay for our roads is through a huge number of different things. We have, federal funding goes into roads. Many states get more money from the federal government for roads than they would actually raise locally. Some of it comes from gasoline tax. Some of it comes from your annual registration fee. And different places have different ways of doing things. In some states, like Oregon, they have a pilot program where you pay per mile. So you have a thing in your vehicle that records how far you drive, and then you get a bill at the end of every month that represents whatever they have deemed the per mile fee to be times the number of miles you've driven. It's not very popular. Most people just have tags and re-tag every year. That's what I do. But tagging my vehicles every year is like $600 or $700 every other year, because we have the truck, we have the car, and we have the bike. It's expensive. And I would love if I had to pay more for my truck than I would for my car, especially if that was tied to how much I use the vehicle, i.e. maybe tell me I can do 5,000 miles a year in my truck, I can do 10,000 miles in my car for the same amount. Maybe that's an option. And I'm curious how you feel about it. I know some countries do base vehicle taxation on curb weight. Some do it by emissions. When I used to live in the UK, it was done by tailpipe emissions. So electric vehicles were exempt, although they're soon not going to be. They're changing things up, I believe, in April next month. But I would love to see a world where the vehicle weight modifies how much you pay. Maybe it doesn't kind of determine how much you pay overall, but maybe it modifies that payment. So you have a surplus charge if your vehicle is large. Because the heavier a vehicle, the more impact that vehicle makes on the road. Heavier vehicles are more likely to cause damage to the road, especially if you are driving the vehicle quickly or badly, or it's overladen. You also, of course, have more pollution from the tyres. The heavier vehicle, the more likely it is, the more particles you're going to be producing from tyres. And tyre particle emission is a problem. We don't talk about it very much. We tend to focus on tailpipe emissions as a society, but microplastics from tyres is also a problem. And you look at it and you go, oh, well, it's mainly rubber. Yes, tyres have rubber in them, but they also have synthetic compounds in them as well. Those synthetic compounds break off. They don't necessarily degrade as you might expect them to. And that can also impact the environment that we live in. And so I would love to know if you are someone who's like, okay, there is a set limit. Maybe we say vehicles under 2,000 kilos, they have a set fee. But once you get above 2,000 kilos, which is 2 metric tons, which is what, 4,400 US pounds, once you get above that, you have to start paying proportionally more. And if you are driving around in a big electric pickup truck that is 6,000 pounds, this truck is about 6,000 pounds, you pay this much more. If you're driving around in a vehicle that's 8 or 10,000 pounds, you pay even more. I know the new Cadillac IQL that was just announced this week, I think that tips the scales at like 7,000 or 8,000 pounds, which just feels bonkers and obscene for so many reasons. If we moved to a taxation like that, hopefully it would discourage people who don't need big vehicles from using big vehicles. If you genuinely need to use a big vehicle, you either own a business, in which case it's a tax write-off, or maybe there are exceptions. Maybe if you prove you actually need a vehicle that large, maybe you get a discount. Maybe you have an allocation. You can use it for work, but we'd rather you didn't use it for personal use unless you have no other alternative. I don't think there is an easy solution to this, but I would love to know your thoughts in the down below. I will be back here next week as per usual. As I said, it's been quite a crazy week here, but I'm very excited because spring is, on its way. It's getting cold here now, but it was warm for a large portion of the day. And 2, this week, and I just did the video about the Vectrix, I actually bought the chargers. So I have everything I need, fingers crossed, on its way to put the bike back on the road. And if you are a biker and you live in the Portland area and you want to get involved, I think we're going to do a group ride up to Mount Hood to celebrate the bike getting back on the road. But more on that on the main channel very soon. Anyway, enjoy the rest of your day. Be wonderful. Do something good. Resist. I'll see you next week. Thanks for joining us today, and if you've got thoughts, make sure you leave them in our Discord room, on our Patreon page down below, or you can reach out to us on Mastodon or Blue Sky. Thanks to the amazing list of people scrolling by on your screen right now. They're part of the massive community of supporters who make this channel possible, helping us through Patreon and YouTube. That allows us to cover our bills, pay our team, and also ensures that we remain 100% independent. If you'd like to join them and see your name listed here, just follow the links below. We've got options available across a wide range of different price points, starting from $1.50 US a month. A massive welcome to our newest supporters: Eric Mora, Jordan Roy, Joseph DeViver, Scooted, Rennie Schweiger, Robert M, and Lev P. To join the list and get your shout out, become a paid Patreon member for your moment of fame, and you can now even gift membership to someone else. If you'd like to support us with a one-off donation, you'll find links below to make Ko-fi and Bitcoin donations, and we even have a good old-fashioned PO box you can reach us at for the time being, address listed below. You'll also find links to our swag store, and if you're someone who has to shop on Amazon, please consider using our affiliate link so that we get the commission instead of Jeff Bezos. So we can continue to focus on making our content even better and reduce creator burnout. We're being a little freer with our release days, but plan on dropping new content every Tuesday, Thursday, and Saturday on our main channel. Plus, on a Sunday, you'll find something over on Transport Evolved Take 2. If you want more, the algorithm that hates us thinks that you should watch this video, but we also think that this one is well worth checking out. Be awesome, be kind, be intentional, and don't forget to resist. Keep evolving.